Wendy's is the third largest hamburger fast food chain in the world after Burger King and McDonald's. So if you are interested in knowing the story of Wendy's, that's what we're going to talk about in this video. We will learn the history of Wendy's and the things you should know about the famous fast food restaurant. But before we start, I invite you to subscribe if you are new to my channel and you like this kind of content. Please also click the bell icon so that you are always updated when I upload my new videos. The story of Wendy's began with its founder, Rex David Thomas, or better known as Dave Thomas. Born on July 2, 1932 in Atlantic City, New Jersey, Thomas was only 6 months old when he was adopted by the couple Rex and Oleva Thomas. At the age of 5, his adoptive mother died and he was not familiar with his adoptive father. His adoptive grandmother, Minnie Sinclair, took care of him and he became close to her. He has many fond memories with his grandmother and has never forgotten her advice to him, such as doing the right thing and respecting other people, as well as the importance of quality and service. Lessons he has used in his business life. At the young age of 13, Dave Thomas was able to work at Regus Restaurant, a fine dining restaurant in Knoxville, Tennessee. This was also the time when he found out that he was just adopted, so from then on, he considered his work to be his family. At the age of 15, he got a job at the Hobby House restaurant in Fort Wayne, Indiana. Here he met restaurant owner and his mentor, Phil Kloss. When Thomas's family moved again, he decided to stay because he liked working at the restaurant. Another experience that helped Thomas was when he volunteered in the Army when the Korean War started in 1950. He was sent to Germany as a mess sergeant. Here he fed almost 2,000 soldiers every day. Here he learned how to move quickly in the preparation of meals, which helped him when he entered the fast food industry. Thomas was discharged in 1953 and returned to the Hobby House restaurant. Here he met the waitress, Lorraine Buskirk, whom he married in 1954. Dave Thomas had already heard the name of Colonel Harlan Sanders because his boss, Phil Kloss, often told him about it. And you know, when they finally met, he did not have a good impression of Colonel Sanders, because Colonel Sanders dressed funny. Thomas thought he was a scammer, but he immediately changed his mind when he tasted Colonel Sanders' fried chicken. Kloss also gave Thomas a challenge. A Hobby House franchise in Columbus, Ohio was in danger of closing. Kloss assigned the restaurant to Thomas and made an agreement he could save the restaurant, he would give him 40% of it. Even Colonel Sanders believed the restaurant was hopeless. When Thomas arrived in Columbus, he immediately fired the restaurant's staff, painted the walls, and changed the restaurant's name to Colonel Sanders Kentucky Fried Chicken. He also came up with the idea of putting a big spinning bucket for their restaurant sign. The restaurant was successful and became a well-known KFC franchise in Columbus, and this is what gave Thomas great luck. At the age of 35, he became a millionaire and became regional director of KFC. Thomas contributed a lot to the development of KFC. He was the one who thought that KFC needed a brand image, so he convinced Colonel Sanders to appear in its commercials. Thomas believed that if customers became familiar and could relate to Colonel Sanders, they were more likely to be loyal customers to the brand. Not long after, Thomas also left KFC after a dispute with its management. He filed a lawsuit against the company and won, so at the age of 37, Thomas was indeed rich, but had no job. And here he once again thought of his long-time dream of building his own restaurant to serve high-quality and delicious burgers. And that dream was about to become a reality. McDonald's and Burger King have always been the famous names when it comes to burgers. But Thomas didn't like the frozen burgers of the two fast food restaurants, and he believed that he could make better and quality burgers. Thomas remembered the burgers he used to eat when he was young. The burgers are big, and they are served freshly made and cooked and not frozen. Thomas strongly believes there is a market for quality fast food hamburgers. He knows that even a little pricey, there are people who will pay for that kind of hamburger. And like the restaurants he and his father ate at when he was young, he also wants a family-friendly restaurant that the whole family will enjoy while eating. So Thomas decided to open his own burger restaurant. He only had one problem: what would he call the restaurant? As he did with KFC, Dave Thomas wanted to have a personality behind the restaurant he planned to build. A character that customers can relate to and remember easily. And for this, he based the name and image of the restaurant from his 8-year-old daughter, Wendy. Melinda Lou Thomas is the fourth of 5 children of Dave and Lorraine Thomas. Melinda had a hard time pronouncing L and R, so instead of Linda being her nickname, she used to be called Wenda, which soon became Wendy. One day while at home, Thomas fixed his daughter's pigtail hair and dressed her in a blue and white striped dress. He took a picture of her, and this is where one of the most famous and iconic mascots in the world was born. But why is Wendy's burger square and not the typical round one? Other than Thomas wanting to be different from their competitors, he is also confident in the quality of their burgers, so he made it square so that the patty protrudes from the bun and can be seen by customers immediately. One of Thomas's frequent answers is, "Here at Wendy's, we don't cut corners," which has become one of the restaurant's well-known branding. Another practical reason is that they cook more square patties on a grill than round patties. And although square burgers became famous because of Wendy's, they weren't the first one to do it. As early as 1921, the burger chain White Castle was already making square patties. But because Wendy's became more popular, it became more known to them and has become part of their branding. The first Wendy's restaurant was a success, but Dave Thomas was careful because it might just be a fluke, especially that their burgers are more expensive than the famous competitors. But when they opened another branch of Wendy's, it also became successful. And here they noticed that even people who don't have much money are willing to pay more for Wendy's quality burgers. It was here that Thomas and his partners realized they had created a successful formula for their restaurant. Wendy's restaurants in America continued to expand, and in 1975 the company became a public company, which helped to increase its franchise even more. McDonald's and Burger King noticed this and tried to add larger burgers to their menu. But Wendy's just kept coming up with new ideas like the hot stuffed potato and the 1980 salad bar. In 1982, after 38 years of continuous work, Thomas resigned from the CEO position at Wendy's. He is still the senior chairman, but he does not interfere much in the day-to-day operations of the company. Thomas enjoyed his semi-retirement and believed that Wendy's would continue to succeed even after he was no longer active. In 1984, Wendy's popularity exploded even more when they released the "Where's the Beef" commercial by famous TV personality Clara Peller. Because of the ad's success, Wendy's became complacent and neglected quality control, which was accompanied by sloppy breakfast menus. The restaurant's sales dropped and the management begged Thomas to come back and help them. Thomas first adjusted Wendy's quality control and the addition of cheaper menu items to keep up with competitors. But what really made Wendy's famous again in the 90s were the commercials they released that featured the founder Dave Thomas himself.
The road leading to Wendy's next great chicken sandwich is a hard one, fraught with disappointments and dead ends. But when you're Dave Thomas and you're starting with Wendy's whole breast filet, you don't give up.
I think I'm onto something.
Introducing Wendy's Mozzarella Chicken Supreme, an all-white meat filet, mozzarella, and a creamy Parmesan sauce. One bite and you'll jump up and say,
Gee, this is pretty good.
exactly. Come try one today.
Due to the popularity of Wendy's commercials, Dave Thomas became a household name in America and became a famous celebrity like his mentor, Colonel Sanders of KFC. Despite Thomas's wealth and success, he did not forget to return the blessings he received. In 1992, he founded the Dave Thomas Foundation for Adoption because, as an adoptee himself, he believes that all children deserve a permanent and loving home. Thomas also used his success and popularity to promote education. He founded the Dave Thomas Education Center in Coconut Creek, Florida, and because he was unable to graduate from high school due to early work, he studied again despite his old age, and in 1993 obtained the equivalent of a high school diploma at the age of 60. Dave Thomas died on January 8, 2002 at the age of 69, and according to his daughter Wendy, there was something that her father regretted before he died. That is the use of her name and image for the restaurant. It is said that due to the attention and pressure as a mascot, his daughter has lost her privacy. Thomas said that he wished it was just his name that he used in the restaurant instead. Today, the success of Wendy's continues with 7,166 stores around the globe.